Good morning from Tolantango. I was memorized by this excavator. It's so wild how they can drive it in the river. By the way, the water here is only brown from the mud they're kicking up. Usually it's an aqua blue and really beautiful. I headed to another area where I unexpectedly made a friend. I found somebody to have breakfast with. This guy is a Koti, and he was just hanging out here by the food stalls, munching on some bread, and bothered by no one. I love these guys so much. I'm obsessed with their long, squishy noses, and actually their nickname is the hug-nosed raccoon because, well, they're part of the raccoon family, and, of course, because of their big snout. This guy totally made my morning. Now I was off to check out the caves and waterfall at Tolantango, which also happens to be a hot spring. I even wore my doofy shoes. Okay, well, something happened and I forgot to record it. After packing up camp and loading the bike, I got on to take off, and the bike would not start. I had to remove all my bags and jumpstart it. Okay, well, that took some time, but it started, so that's pretty good. And the bike there, and if you can hear it, it's still running, so I'm really lucky that there's this place that I could get some jugo. So now I gotta figure out what to do next. Do I go to the next place? I think I'm gonna call. Thankfully, I've been at the BMW already for the oil, and I think I'm going to call or message them and see about getting, maybe I just need a new battery. You know, maybe it takes a day to get a battery, so I'll just do my thing for a day and then go to Pachuca. We'll see. So I'll do that now. Okay, something with the bike. Okay, fast forward to the evening. Somehow I lost the footage of the day, but regardless, I drove 2.5 hours to a small town called Zimapan. I was planning to stay outside the town in nature, but I kept having a strong feeling to go to Zimapan. I didn't know why. I checked into a hotel, which is a rare occurrence for me, and parked my bike in the courtyard. The lights just came on out of nowhere. The dashboard is on. And the keys, basically, they won't turn off. I even started the engine. It started okay, but the keys wouldn't turn the engine off. So, you know, it's about 8 p.m. I'm here in Zimapan. Okay, breathe. All is going to be okay. All is well. All is well. I'm so happy that I have the numbers of the mechanics in Pachuca and in Queretaro, and they're so nice. I parked the bike, and all of a sudden just the lights turned on. It's in the off switch, you know, where the lights are supposed to be off. This is, you know, this is the where the lights are on, you know, and this is off, so it was off, but all of a sudden the lights have turned on themselves. And you know, I started the engine And even when I turned it off like that, the engine wouldn't even turn off. I had to put on the kill switch to turn it off. I don't understand what's happening. The lights just turned on themselves, and then of course if they stay on, it's going to kill the battery again. Do you have any idea why it would be doing this or what's happening? Thank you so much. This is really strange. I'm gonna cry. Yes. People are so nice, and because of the timing of things, so I had the number of the BMW guys in Pachuca, and I told him, actually I'm having a problem right now. And then he messaged me back and he said maybe there's something wrong with the circuit, and then he said, where are you? And I said, I'm in Zimapan. And he said, and then he sent me a voice message and said, you won't believe it, I grew up in Zimapan, and I have a cousin who lives there who's a mechanic.
Hey, do you want to know something? Zimapan Hidalgo is mine. I was born in Zimapan Hidalgo. I'm going to tell my cousin to make you a call or a text. He's a mechanic and he can help you.
And I was like, wow, that is so great. And then he, after a few minutes, he messaged me back and he said, you know, my cousin's on my way to you now. Another thing, I'm so grateful. I can't believe he's sending a mechanic. This is just amazing. Now the plan was to get to Queretaro because there's another BMW agency there and it was closer in the direction I was headed. However, there was another challenge. My odometer reset when the battery died, so I didn't have a clue as to how many miles I had left until empty. There are gas stations in Zimapan, but they were too close. I needed the bike to be running for longer in order to charge the battery. But it was Saturday, which means the BMW agency closes early, so I needed to rush out of there. I looked up the closest gas stations outside of Zimapan, and it was 40 miles away. My guess to how much gas I had left was maybe 40 miles. So once again, I decided to trust that I'd make it, and I was on my way. In times like these, where things seem to be going wrong, I always remind myself that really, truly, there is no such thing. It is not possible for me to know that this event is wrong or bad because I always lack the greater perspective of what's yet to come. I always heard people say that, but now I can really see it, even with this very example. See this beautiful lake here? I had planned to camp there the very next day at a spot I knew right on the lake front. As I passed it on my way to get the bike fixed in Queretaro, I had a split-second feeling sorry that I wouldn't get to camp there. Then I quickly reminded myself that if the current circumstances are taking me to Queretaro, then that's the best place for me to be. This was surprisingly confirmed just a few days later. While at my hostel in Queretaro chatting with the owner, he shared with me news he saw that a lake had overflooded and there were warnings in the area. Guess what lake it was? Yup, the one I had planned to camp right next to. At that moment, I felt, yeah, what do I know? I got the feeling that I really know so little about the events that show up in my life, whether they are good for me or bad for me. You know, there's a saying, all events are neutral until perspective is applied. At the end of the day, I realize I don't know much about anything. The best I can do is serve the moment and apply the best perspective that I can. In case you were wondering how I was doing on gas, well, my gas light literally just came on, and as I saw like, oh, 26 happened, and I saw my gas light, I looked up and there's the Chemex. Timing is okay. Finally, I made it to Queretaro. I drove through the beautiful centro and arrived at BMW just before closing. I explained the issues with the ignition cable and had some really nice chats. Okay, I made it. I'm here in el centro de Queretaro. Yeah, I took an Uber from the BMW Motorrad. They were so nice, so great. I feel in really good hands there. Today is Saturday, so they close early. I got there just before closing, and then they're closed on Sunday. So they will look at my bike on Monday, which means I have these bonus unexpected days in Queretaro to explore.